Hey guys, welcome back to another video on the Inside Spurs channel. Happy Sunday evening. Hope you're well, hope you're looking after yourself and you've had a good weekend. It's been a decent weekend, some decent sport. I just feel a bit weird, I don't know about you, when you watch the Premier League at the weekends. And I know going forward it will start to change, but having two games like a day, it just feels a bit weird. I don't really like it, but hey, there's that. We've got some really quite bizarre reports to talk about in this video. So we've got the report on, well, the man on the thumbnail from Florian Plettenberg around Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, but also Spurs rejecting a bid for Emerson Royal. You'll see what I mean in just a second. I just want to say, if you're new, subscribe. You're very much welcome to join us for the journey. And let's talk Florian Plettenberg and what he said about Pierre Højbjerg. And he said, Højbjerg still open for a new challenge in the winter as he wants to play regularly. 90 minutes versus Manchester United last weekend, but he wants more. Talks and ideas about a permanent deal or a loan with an obligation to buy. A loan with an option to buy is not an option for Spurs boss Daniel Levy. Juventus is still interested in the 28-year-old defensive midfielder. Bayern not involved at this stage. Bayern. I mean, they've talked about wanting to get a midfielder, but I wouldn't have thought they'd go back for Pierre Højbjerg. So if you're not aware, he did used to play at Bayern. Look, my thoughts and feelings around Højbjerg is as such, and I've said it so many times. He's a player of quality. He's a good player. He doesn't really suit the Ange system all that much, though. You've seen it off the bench. You've seen it when he starts. He suits it when we're 2-0 up, 3-1 up, or you're trying to hold on to the draw. You're down to 10 men. All those things. That's when he suits us, which is not really what we do at Spurs. We're trying to play really expansive, on the front foot football. So I do still see, when we think next Friday is obviously the Man City FA Cup game. When you think post that, you'll start to realise, okay, well, we've got a few days now. What's going to happen? And I still think, Spurs might be looking at a midfielder if Højbjerg goes. And the key part of that one was it's a permanent sale or a loan with an obligation. And I've said all along, Spurs won't do an option to buy. And teams want an option to buy because basically all they want is him for 6 months. If they're not blown away by him, they just send him back, which is obviously what we're doing with Timo, for example. If with Timo we bring him in and, he stinks up the joint, you just send him straight back, So with the obligation to buy, it just means you're guaranteeing yourself to bring in a replacement with the money that you're going to be raising from this deal. If you look, Spurs are wanting more of a homegrown option to that midfield. So you've got, Whittaker, you've got Hackney, you've got a few other players, there's quite a few. If I had to put a guess on it right now, I think they still want Gallagher, but they're not going to be able to get him this month. It'd have to be the summer, sorry. I think it'd be Hackney at Borough, to be honest. That's where I think, if they go for one this window, it'll be him, I think. Because I think that's where a lot of, the concrete talks and rumours are. The Spurs are quite interested in him. Whereas the other ones that we heard earlier on this month, Joe Bellingham, for example, you're not really seeing as much of it. And again, I wouldn't mind Joe Bellingham. Even if it was a buy, loan him straight back to the end of the season, I wouldn't mind that even, But hey, yeah. So I think we'll keep an eye on Højbjerg because I do see Højbjerg we are the 21st of January, I think 10 days or 11 days left, however many days it is now. Towards the end of this window, you'll start to see it really hot up. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on it. Let's talk Emerson Royal because I think this is one that you all probably clicked on and went, we've rejected a bid. And yeah, we have. It was quite interesting. So it came from Tom Barkley, who's a senior football writer for The Sun. And he said that Tottenham have rejected a bid from Al Nassr for Emerson Royal. Emerson understood to be happy at Spurs, but Al Nassr also believed to be readying another offer. I think the supposed amount was 20 million. Okay. My thoughts and feelings about it is I wouldn't want to sell him. Now, you've heard me say we do need to look to upgrade on him, and we do. But that I think would be the summer. I just think this season he's shown value to the squad. The fact that, he has played centre-half, he has played right-back, he's played left-back. He's been fit when you think Davies has missed time, Van der Ven's missed time, Romera's missed time, and Dogi's missed time. It's only him and Porro that really have been around, Everyone else is kind of faltered by the wayside at least a few times a season. So he is quite crucial in that regard. If you look in, a part of me thinks, right, if Spurs were to accept a bid, now this is obviously hypothetical because he might still reject it. He might still go, I don't want to go, I'm still happy at Spurs. But if we played the game of he is going to be moving on, what would be the bid be for Spurs to accept? And I would think it would be about what we bought him for. I think it was about 26 million. I think Spurs would take 75, 26 million for him and they'll look to replace him this window. Potentially. But I think summer is where you do it. I think, look, we might be able to cash in on the summer. And if we're going to get 20 million for him, happy days. And I probably would say I'd rather take 20 million in the summer than would 25 right now. Just purely knowing what I've got. I've got a proven commodity in Emerson Royal where he's going to stay fit. He's not going to be injured. In the summer, where you get to bring someone in. Now, at times, this isn't always the best way, but you bring someone in the summer, you spend 2 months really just drilling into him. This is how I want a right back to play. And also, what would be nice is next season, Pedro Porro not to play every single game, every single week, But yeah, I think the summer is when we're going to cash in. And the thing is, he's got interest. Obviously, Al Nassr, that's where Ronaldo plays, Sadio Mane, Marcelo Brozovic, Otavio, they all play there in the Saudi league. I think it'll be the summer. I do. And it wouldn't be a bad move either, for us especially, to cash in on him, to take that money, to get a guy who, defensively is sound. You still want a guy's defensive sound. Porro's been good this season offensively. He's been, other than Trent, that you might say, he's been the best right back in the league. You do need someone next season, though, to give him time, just to have a game off. Because if we're playing Europe and, you've got maybe, you've got cup competitions, you're playing 2 or 3 times a week every week for the first few months of the season, I'd rather Porro not be a walking zombie by the time he gets to November. I'd love it if Porro's like getting, 2 every 3, that kind of vibe, and you're rotating, and that's what my vibe is on that, but we'll see. But anyway, guys, at the end of the video, I hope you did enjoy it. Drop a like on the video if you did. Hit me in the comment section your thoughts, feelings about Højbjerg. Do you see him moving? Do you see Juventus or even Bayern being a team that are going to come get for him? Or do you see it being someone else? Obviously, Emerson Royal bid. What are your thoughts, feelings about that? Because we don't really speak about Emerson Royal in this light very much. So I'm interested to see what you think about that. Do subscribe if you're new and hit the bell notification for more. But anyway, guys, to the end of the video. And I'll see you all very, very soon. Take care, guys.